This current moment does not require a mastery of facts. A genocide is unfolding in real time before our eyes. And so all you have to do is ask yourself a question. Do you think it requires a mastery of facts to render a judgment on whether or not it's right to deny food, water, fuel, and electricity to a civilian population, 1/2 of which is children? Can you, I'm asking you as an intelligent woman, as a mother, can you imagine any circumstance in which you would say, such is the circumstance that I have to agree to deny any food, water, fuel, electricity to 1.5 million children?
No. To me, no. The current moment is not complicated at all.
Fine.
The history is very complicated, the details
Correct.
of all the peace deals, all of
Correct.
that, very complex. But the current situation to me is very cut and dry, actually.
Exactly. And number two, the problem is not that people don't know the facts. The problem is the people in power lying and lying and lying and lying about the facts. That's the problem. I excuse ignorance. The other day, I was on with I did two interviews, not two, I've done so many, but with both Michaela Peterson and Candace Owens. And each of them began by saying, I really don't know anything about this conflict. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the humility. You come in, and I thought, well, of course, why should you know? Gaza is a postage stamp on the world's map. Why would you know more about Gaza than you would know about a country in Africa? I get that. So that, to me, it's completely understandable and doesn't raise any significant moral questions. But her father, Michaela Peterson's father, Jordan Peterson, is a very sick liar. That's a problem to me. When he comes up and he says, he's asked by Piers Morgan, what caused this conflict? He says, well, I'll tell you what caused it. It was Iran rattling the chain of Hamas. What are you talking about? Israeli intelligence doesn't say that. And then you get Candace Owens' colleague, Ben Shapiro, who puts out these videos with one ignorant lie after the other. Not even sophisticated lies, so ignorant, so imbecilic, so shameless, so ridiculous, so preposterous. That to me is the problem. On a moral level, I remember my mother once said, we were talking about Poland, during the war, during her experience during the war. And she said, I never held it against Polish people who wouldn't help us. Because she said, in Poland, if you help the Jews during World War II, they just shot you dead. You don't get a trial. You are aiding and abetting the Jew, boom, you're shot dead. And my mother never pretended to be a hero. And I think in the back of her mind, she thought, I wouldn't open the door. Okay? So she didn't falter. She said what she faulted was the Poles who stood along the wall of the ghetto and were gleeful as they saw what was happening to the Jews. Those are the ones she passed judgment on. And it's the same thing here. Ignorance is an excuse because the world is a big place, many conflicts. You can focus on one or two most mortal people, but Everyone? No, not possible. But when you are a person of power or prominence, and you're using your position to disseminate the ugliest, the stupidest, the most idiotic lies. And these people use their power and their position to lie as Israel conducts its genocide in Gaza. Those people are revolting. They're also revolting cowards. Mr. Shapiro, you know so much. Why don't you debate me? Where's the problem? You like to debate college students. I suppose you debate people in their second trimester. But how about debating an adult who studied it? They won't. Complete cowards. Cowards and criminals. Criminals.
Dr. Norman Finkelstein, I know that you are very much in demand right now. And so I'm extremely grateful to you, and our audience is grateful to you for taking so much time with us. Anywhere you want people to follow you on Twitter? Is there any one of your books in particular you would recommend to people?
My techniques will kill me, but the answer is I don't even know how to tell somebody to follow me. Because you have to go through these steps on the web, and I don't know what it requires. My books, I try not to, I don't like to come across as profiting from misery. But if you want background, mine is really the only book out there. It's Gaza, an Inquest into Its Martyrdom.
And that's the one that I've been reading, and I would also recommend it to people. So it's great to see you. Thank you so much. And again, thank you for spending so much time with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Of course.